we have more now on that college admissions scandal and what you can do to make sure your kids get a fair shake.
Kevin Sweeney is back with us, along with Elizabeth Heaton, both former admissions officers who now work with families as college counselors. Good morning to you both. Thanks for being here. Boy, we have been talking about it all morning, the inequity, the privilege. College has always been competitive. The admissions process has always been competitive. This is your wheelhouse. But I get the question so many families have this morning is, can their kids get a fair shake if they don't have the means that these families in the news today have?
Yeah, I mean, I still think we're talking about such a small number of applicants. And yeah, I do believe it's notable that as of right now, no admissions people have been implicated in this. And I know that my former colleagues and I certainly took my mission very strongly about reading every application and taking in that student's experience and really trying to advocate for them. In admissions, you look for reasons to admit, and I don't think that has changed. And so I do think that that system does still work.
And we are dealing with a group of elite schools right here, but what's your best advice for parents and kids who want to get into those schools and want a fair shake?
Unfortunately, I think that the truth is sort of annoying, which is be yourself. And present your best, most authentic version of that self as you can in the application process. Unfortunately, I think there are a lot of people who are, 17, 18 years old that aren't really sure who they are and what that authentic version of themselves is. There's a lot of grown-ups that probably don't really even know who they are. But our job as college counselors and the people that work with them in high school, teachers, et cetera, are all there to help them tease that out and put that best foot forward in the application process and do so legally without bribing people with millions of dollars and things like that.
Are there any tangible things parents, students can do? We talked earlier about test preps that people with more means have access to. What else can you do if you don't have that kind of money?
Well, there are actually a lot of free resources out there. So Khan Academy has some opportunities free where you can prep for the SAT. The price of a book you can purchase and do some work test prep that way. We have a free blog and a podcast where we're offering lots of information to families that might not be able to afford to work with an outside counselor. So there are companies who offer what we're doing as a free benefit, so you might want to actually check with your company to see if that's something that's available.
I wonder if you can also help lower the anxiety of parents and kids. I think there's sort of this feeling that among a lot of people that if you don't get into USC or you don't get into Wake Forest, you don't get into Yale, boy, your future is really narrowly constricted. That's just not necessarily true at all.
No, absolutely not. I think that it matters, and there's a lot of data out there to suggest that it matters much more what you do when you go to college, how you engage in that experience, what you major in, than where all of that takes place. You get out of the college experience what you put into it, and there are 3,000 or 4,000 different options for students in this country. So that paradox of choice is really difficult to work your way through. And so what we do is we use the shorthand of the rankings list to sort of say, well, those are good, and everything below that is bad. And I would challenge everybody to sort of reimagine what good school means. I think students, unfortunately you're going to run into your parents' friends in the grocery store, and they're going to ask you, where are you going to college? And you're going to roll your eyes, and then you're going to rattle off the list of schools of where you're going to go to college, and they're going to go, oh, that's really good. That's a good school. I hear that's a good school. And I think what you guys should do is turn back on them and say, well, how do you know? And I think you're going to see some shocked looks on their face because that's a really hard question to answer. I think as a society we have a really hard time answering that question. So we just ask that families do their due diligence, right?
The best school for you.
Yeah, exactly, the best fit. And to your point, it's having a balanced list, not always just wanting the schools that don't want you. I don't know what that is about us as a society, that we want the club that doesn't want us to join, right? And you don't want to embrace the schools that might be really wanting to embrace you.
Good place to end on. Thank you very much. Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.